Triumph Bonneville T120 2016 on review: easygoing, luxurious, and classy. Our continued appetite for retro machinery means an ever-expanding market with choices to suit any preference. From diddy-capacity commuter to grunting high-tech café racer, there's a throwback bike to suit. The 1,200 cubic centimeters parallel twin Triumph Bonneville T120 sits midway between simple, authentic retros like Royal Enfield's best-selling Interceptor, and modern bikes in period get-up like the BMW R and Yamaha XSR900. It has plenty of traditional style, a rumbling touchy-feely engine and lashings of easygoing charm, balanced with up-to-date technology, rideability, and accessible performance. It's an easy-to-ride roadster, perhaps closest to Honda's CB1100 in terms of feel, positioning and dynamic. Purists in their Union flag underpants might grumble about the fact that the T120 is made in Thailand, rather than Hinckley. They'll probably tut at the discreet radiator nestled in front of the engine and roll their eyes at traction control, too. Ride quality and brakes. Triumph have come a long way since their rebirth with modular models in the early 1990s. This doesn't mean they no longer use common parts, though. The T120 features the tubular steel cradle frame used across the Bonneville lineup, from Street Twin to Track Ready Thruxton RS. Suspension is by Kayaba, with 41mm unadjustable cartridge forks at the front and twin shocks out back with 5-way preload. Brakes are basic 2-pot sliders. To ensure a hint of classic to the looks and handling, there's an 18-inch front wheel, with Pirelli's retro-look Phantom Sports Comp tires. Front is 100/90-18, rear is 150/70 or 17. Engine. Like the frame, Triumph's twin-cylinder engine is used across the Bonneville lineup, from the 800 cubic centimeters street triple, smaller bore diameter, to the wheel-lifting Thruxton RS. In 1,200 cubic centimeters T120 format, there's just shy of 80 horsepower, with a heavier crank and taller gearing than in freer revving Thruxton spec. The Bonneville name might come from Triumph's land speed record antics in the 1950s, but this bike's designed for relaxed rumbling. Drive is delivered in a controlled manner with a purring bass-rich thrum. Peak torque arrives at a barely awake 3,100 RPM and then falls away quite rapidly, encouraging short-shifted progress and rolling on and off the throttle in a tall gear. There's ample grunt though, and the motor's low-rev tune is a good match for the chassis dynamic and riding position. Reliability and build quality. Triumph have done a nice job with the current Bonneville range. The engine is a handsome unit and does a convincing job of masking its modern technology. The finish is generally excellent, and the detailing is top-notch. There's garage appeal aplenty. Reliability is good. Triumph's parallel twin is solid and dependable, low-stressed in T120 guise, and has pleasing 10,000-mile service intervals. Some of the bare and polished finishes can suffer from post-wet ride neglect, though, and really don't like road salt. There was also a recall in early 2019, so if you're buying used, double-check with a dealer to see if the bike was one of the ones affected and whether it was looked at. Our Triumph Bonneville T120 owners' reviews are very positive, the only downsides being bits people often change anyway: OEM tires and suspension. Value versus rivals. 10 grand might seem quite steep for a straightforward retro, especially when rivals like the Moto Guzzi V7 and Kawasaki W800 are noticeably cheaper, and Royal Enfield's best-selling Interceptor is half the price. However, the T120 is in a different quality league to the bargain Enfield, offers greater tech and luxury than the Guzzi and more easygoing performance than the charming Kawasaki, and has stronger residuals than any of them. Honda's direct rival CB1100 is perhaps even classier than the T120, though for most people the inline 4 hasn't the character of Triumph's twin. Equipment. There are versions to suit traditionalists and trendy types. The straight T120 features classic bright finishes and an ample covering of chrome, while the T120 Black has a dark finish to its engine, exhaust and wheels. Apparently, all the rage with urban types. Both cost £10,600 at the start of 2021 pounds. They were £9,600 when released in 2016. There's also a Bud Ekins version, named after the American racer and stuntman who was a close friend of a certain Mr. McQueen, with two-tone paint and specific details for an extra £300. It might not be obvious on the surface, but there's a decent amount of equipment on the body. It has standard fit heated grips, traction control, ABS and 2 riding modes, plus LED daytime running lights, a USB charger hidden under the seat and an ignition key immobilizer. And all the tasty detailing and fine finishes are included, of course. In May 2019, Triumph revealed the Bonneville T120 Ace and Diamond Special Editions regular T120s that were dressed slightly differently to separate them from the crowds. There comes a point where too much tech dilutes the retro experience while too little annoys. The 2021 T120 plays it about right. The 2 riding modes, Rain and Road, are enhanced for 2021, easily navigated and sufficient. Rain, incidentally, knocks it down to about T100 performance. Specs: engine size 1,200 cubic centimeters. Engine type 4-stroke, liquid-cooled, parallel twin. Frame type tubular steel. Fuel capacity 14.7 liters. Seat height 790 millimeters. Bike weight 236 kilograms. Front suspension 41 millimeters conventional fork, non-adjustable. Rear suspension twin shocks, spring preload adjustment only. Front brake twin 310 millimeters discs, 2-piston Brembo calipers, ABS. Rear brake 255 mm disc, 2-piston Nissan caliper, ABS. Front tire size 190 or 18. Rear tire size 150/70 or 17. MPG, costs and insurance. Average fuel consumption 50 miles per gallon. Annual road tax £101. Annual service cost £200. New price £10,800. Used price £6,000 to £10,500. Insurance group. How much to insure? Warranty term 2 years, unlimited mileage. Top speed and performance. Max power 79 brake horsepower. Max torque 77.5 ft-lb. Top speed 130 miles per hour. A quarter mile acceleration. Tank range 140 miles.